Carrie just glanced at the list. We going in for round 2. Oh, maybe this is like round 3. I don't know. But we're going to do just like the second half of this list that I just addressed in the video that I was dressed like this. Anyways, the next thing, we just went over the holidays and stuff in the last video. So now we're going to move on to name calling. I don't know. People, just like in high school, you know, they can make you feel like this hazing is just part of it to like make you feel included. But dude, I was prepubescent. I had not even hit puberty yet, and they were calling me band-aids and mosquito bites because I was flat-chested. I had not even hit puberty. Like, you didn't even give me a chance for them to come in. Like, yeah, they didn't, right? But like, come on, that was a little premature. I think that they probably felt flat-chested because they're the ones with jobs and stuff. And before I even hit puberty, they wanted to make me feel insecure about that, but I never have. You know, I actually wear sports bras with these little that I have because for me, they just get in the way. I like them to be very like aerodynamic, I can still move around. You know, my heart goes out to the women who have to get some removed because they can't really function. So I'm just saying, like, I'm chill with these, genuinely. But I think that it's a miracle because they did adamantly try to make me feel bad about that for years. I've never gotten a BBL, but my own mom said that my butt was so flat it was concave. My mom died when I was 10. So she must have told me this when I was like 8 or 9. God bless my mother, and I really don't want to bash her on here because she's in the ground. But like, objectively, what was going on? It's a miracle that I'm not all plastic. Because looking back, they tried to make me insecure. One of my uncles that was married into the family, I don't know if he was like this before or if he just, I don't know, wanted to be part of the culture, if you will. But he called me Flintstone feet. He said, and so I've always been self-conscious wearing, look at my feet, guys. They're not even that bad. What the heck? Like, are they Flintstone feet to you? Like, these look like normal feet to me. But either way, I would not wear flip-flops or sandals until recently because I thought I had Fred Flintstone feet. It sounds funny, but like, these were huge things for me. Like, now I can laugh about them because I've grown, but like, that was just super messed up. The whole Flintstone feet thing, I was probably like 12 or 13. I'm just trying to like give you guys objective, like, okay, this is what happened. So if these videos blow up and anyone's like, who said that? It was my uncle who was married into the family when I was about 12 or 13, and I never forgot that. So be careful what you tell to your kids. You know, and now I feel like I have little hip dips because my mom told me that my butt was literally concave, and it is. You know why? Because look at a image of our hip bones on the internet. They're literally they're flexed. They dip in like that. Who cares? Like, girls are flipping out because of their hip dips, and it's like, honey, that is literally our bones. Like, what? So yeah, I feel really bad because I know my mom and my aunt, you know, they probably had really bad self-esteem issues, and that's probably why both of them have, you know, because they just couldn't be okay without that. And you know what, I'll catch all the heat. Like, obviously, you guys, I'm not bashing people that get plastic surgery for their own reasons, but I'm just emphasizing that people bully other people that are insecure. And if my mom and my aunt would have been secure about their bodies, they probably wouldn't have been bullying a prepubescent girl about her flat chest, and they probably wouldn't have themselves, you know? So I'm literally not hating plastic surgery. I'm not trying to be like self-righteous, like, look at me, like I'm all real. I'm really not. Like, I think some girls freaking slay. This girl that I met on the internet recently, like, we met on Bumble, and we started hanging out and stuff. The second day we were hanging out, she was in my room and she was like, yeah, I got mine done. And I was like, no way. And she's like, yeah, I want to see. And I'm like, and she did. She just flashed me. And dude, they looked so good. They did. Like, they did not look like they were done. Like, once her little scars heal, those things are going to be. So I'm not a hater, I promise. I'm just trying to say that they were clearly insecure. and that's why they bullied me. So if anybody's bullying you, dude, I don't have Fred Flintstone feet. Dude, people have, I'm not even gonna get into it because I don't want y'all to, but people have worshipped my feet in my adult life, okay? So it's like, I know that they look like everyone else's feet. Like, what is going on? I was so gaslit. And then kind of related to that, sorry, I didn't really put these in order, but like just the no accountability. Like, you know, my family's probably gonna have their rebuttal to everything I'm saying. And like Twyla freaked out. She just started cussing and screaming this year and we don't know what's going on. It's because of the no accountability. You know what changed? I got into therapy. And the therapist said, you know, this is the format for a healthy apology. You know, you bring this forth, they bring that forth. People recognize what they did. People recognize what they did. Okay? They say, I'm sorry that this hurt you. I am sorry that fill in the blank made you feel this way, genuinely. And not like my family, like, well, I'm sorry that it made you feel that way. It's, wow, I am so sorry that unintentionally I made you feel so terrible. Please forgive me and just trust that I am going to work on the personal things within myself so that that never happens to you again. And I'm so sorry that I hurt you in that way. There's a huge difference. And people get so hung up on the words like, well, they said the same thing. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So you need to be able to take accountability because, yeah, 9 out of 10 times that I've flipped the out this last year, I admit it, I flipped the out. And I'd do it again. And I'd do it again. Because sometimes you need to out. You do. Sorry. But if I wouldn't have, I'd probably still be living in their house, still getting operated like a little puppet and wanting to not be here anymore every single day. Sorry, I'm trying to be so strategic to not get this taken down because this is such just invaluable information. And that's not because I'm so great. These are things that other people have said that I just came across their channels this year. And so now I want to be one of those channels. Like, look, the no accountability thing, that's a sign of abuse. Or that's a sign of an abusive person, we'll say. If this person chronically just cannot own up to their mistakes, you know, in this last company that I got hired for, amazing job. Like, I'm just starting it. But in the interview, it was a group interview and it was me and one other woman, and we were kind of like competing for this job. And I ended up getting the job out of the two of us. At least I didn't see her at any of the like the orientations or like new hires or any of the work meetings. I don't see her. So like I'm assuming that I was the one that got hired out of the two of us. So I don't want to say that because who knows, but I'm just saying that like they told us to watch videos and stuff before the interview, and they kind of was like, they were asking her to kind of expand on it. And when it was my turn to talk, I had to be honest. And I was like, hey, I just have to be honest about this real quick. I completely spaced. I've been applying to so many jobs. I've been trying to juggle interviews. I didn't watch the video. So I'm not going to sit here and fake my way through it, but I will, you know, address what was said, and these are my thoughts. So I was completely transparent, and you know what? I think that they appreciated that. So I'm just saying that you might have come from an abusive household, and it might be very scary to admit that you're wrong, or that you didn't do something, or that you did do something that you shouldn't have. But as you start admitting this, it will become naturally reinforcing. It will become naturally positively reinforcing, and then you will want to speak up just instinctually because you know it feels good. You know that you don't have to do, you know, verbal gymnastics trying to and like contorting things just to try to cover up that you didn't do something. Before I even gave my reply, I'm like, hey, gotta be real right now. Like, I did not watch those videos. I will, but I haven't yet, you know, and I think they really appreciated that. So the accountability, the next thing that I just want to touch on is like very sudden and drastic punishments. Like I mentioned, right, I wasn't allowed to wear G-strings, but they couldn't just take all of them and throw them away or get rid of them or whatever. They had to cut them up in front of me and laugh with the rest of the family at my humiliation. And I think I was a senior in high school. Yeah, I was, because I was working on getting emancipated. But then the emancipation process took so long that it was May of my senior year, and my school counselor, who was helping me get emancipated, by the way, and like other people at the school were literally taking me home with them because they knew how miserable I was and how badly I didn't want to go home. Okay? And I'm not like an unhinged, like I am unhinged, but like, I'm not even gonna play right now. But I'm not unhinged in the way that I just was like a horrible, rebellious teenager and I was always just gonna be a rebellious person, you know? I really was a good person. I was a relatively calm child. I just never had a voice. And my family taught me that the only voice I had was throwing fits and giving these extreme. And then as I got a little bit older, it was the same thing. Now it wasn't screaming like a toddler. It was throwing an F-bomb into the conversation. It was slamming the door. It was oh, we don't want her to do that. So it gets their attention. Do you guys realize you're self-sabotaging your own relationships with your children by saying, hey, these extreme disrespectful things are the only thing that gets my attention? You're telling your kid to disrespect you. And that's what I did. But it's not because me as a person, I want to be disrespectful. If I respect someone, like that guy from Cabela's that I was talking, I would never dream of talking to him like that. I would never dream of it. You know, and not just because of the amount of time that I've known him. I just mean if he was, you know, I can't really say that. Abort. We're not going to do that. But abandon ship. But yeah, so they want to humiliate you. So they do very sudden and drastic punishments, or like rather than saying, hey, you have until this weekend to get out, which still would have been pretty extreme. But they didn't even let me pack my own stuff. They waited for me to go to my partner's house and sleep over for a night or two. And then they chose to tell me while I was over there, hey, all your stuff's in boxes outside. You know what that teaches someone at a subconscious level? That stability does not exist. And that happened this year. And I am a grown A woman. So I can only imagine what little Twyla felt like. If I already feel this sense of like nothing is stable, nothing is predictable, nothing is secure. I can't trust anyone. The love is fake. They're trying to manipulate me. And if you guys say, oh, Twyla, you can't say that. They're your family. Go watch my last couple videos. Like, this hurts so bad. It feels like I have no family, you know, and I'm not going to start a pity party. We're going to move on to the next point, but they want to humiliate you. You know, every single time I got in trouble, they made this huge thing. All my family members, all my distant family members knew about it. Like, guess what she did? Now this is what we're going to do. Ha ha ha. Like, it was just so, are they watching reality TV? This one's kind of like left field, but stay with me. Are they watching reality TV all the time? Because people like that, what do? You know, as someone who has a good sense of self and has been through therapy now and doesn't watch any TV, whenever I do sit in on like a reality TV show with one of my friends or something, you can see that they get the random person over here to come in over here and just say, oh, well, what happened with that? You know, because they're trying to stir it up. They're trying to make it entertaining because they're bored and they want people to watch. Well, your family, if they're living their little miserable life, you know, they're probably getting bored. And they probably want some entertainment, and you are their source of entertainment. And when you get upset, not only can they experience the entertainment in that moment, but then they get to tell everyone about it, and they get to feed for maybe even days after that of just basking in your humiliation. And so are they watching reality TV like Dr. Phil, you know, or like their church services and stuff? Are they always throwing it? Well, Dr. Phil would say this, or well, my pastor said this. Well, Dr. Phil said you're an addict and you need an intervention, and blah. And I'm like, oh, really? Because I smoke some. I need an intervention. Okay, who are you? And then, do they throw your therapy up in your face? Trigger warning: self-harm. Please skip to 1717. It was towards the end of me and my biological father's relationship that I was trying to salvage wasn't salvage. I was trying to salvage, and I wasn't really able to. But towards the end, I was in my early 20s. Okay, I had none of these communication skills. I had no way to signify correctly and appropriately that I was upset. And so I slashed my arm up like from here to here, and I wrote, inside all of the little slashes, I just wrote "love me," and it's like so freaking 2010, freaking My Chemical Romance. But like, this is so cringe. But I took a picture of it and I sent it to my dad, because I did that after a really upsetting conversation with him. Because I just felt like there was nothing that I could do that would just get him to genuinely love me. I felt like all of my efforts were in vain. And so anyways, I just wanted him so badly to love me. So I did. I sent that to him. Maybe that was manipulative on my part, right? Maybe this was like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have sent it. I can't say that I regret it now, because like I do. I want him to know how much pain I was in and how much pain he's always caused me. And I don't do that anymore. You know, it doesn't make sense up here to hurt myself because of another person hurting me. That was like a double whammy that I was doing for decades. Like, oh, that person hurt me, better hurt myself more. What the heck was I on? But either way, sent that picture to my dad, and then he said, "Oh, well, boy, kid, looks like all that therapy is really helping you." He said that. And I don't even think maybe I did, but I can't remember sending any text with the picture. I think it was just the picture of my, like, I don't want to go into graphic detail, but I mean, there was not a square centimeter of skin on my entire arm that was not slashed. Like, it was gruesome with the "love me," and it was very legible. I am an artist, after all. Sorry, this is going to get taken down. But like, he could see it. So the fact that that was his reaction, and my family have done that too. The last time I was at my grandparents' house with other family members there besides my grandpa, I tried to close the bathroom door. My uncle opened it, you know, I reached to close it and he went like that and like blocked the door, and it made like a big, and I went and just looked at him. I'm like, "Are you good?" And he looked at me like it was my fault, right, for reaching for the doorknob. And he's like, "The dogs have water in there." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I was just gonna eat, so I don't really want to smell Lysol the whole time I ate." I didn't even tell him that in that moment, because they've known, I've been like this since I was tiny, okay? So they know why I was reaching for so anyways, but in that little interaction there, I remember him saying something about therapy. I remember him jabbing me about the fact that I was in therapy, and I don't remember what he said, so I'm not going to lie to you guys and say he said this, because I don't remember word for word. But oh, you know what? I think it was me, actually. Sorry, I'm outing myself. But I think I said, like, what? Like, what was that? Like, you guys need therapy. Like, I think I said something like that, and he came at me and said, like, "Well, you need therapy," or well, you know, and he kind of fired it back at me. So maybe, like, forgive me. Maybe it was me. I have this little vague memory coming back. But yeah, so there's that too. Let me make sure we got through these. Do they throw therapy up in your face? And one last one that's like very controversial, but I really think that I might be able to get away with sliding it in here, is like, what was your relationship with like? We don't even really have to talk about it too much, because I know, you know, it's uncomfortable. I don't really want people knowing my business in that way. I don't really want to, you know, want you guys to have to think about really painful memories and stuff like that, because I know there was like a lot of abuse in some people's situations and stuff like that. But my thing was, like, they never talked about it. They just acted like I should never do it, therefore I will never do it, and I don't need to learn about it. I never got ed, not once. I never took a ed class. They never talked to me about it. They never talked to me about my period. My mom died when I was 10. I didn't start my period until I was about 14, I think. I was kind of a late bloomer. And I didn't have anyone to ask, because I think I brought it up once or twice, or like training bras or something like that. I think I brought it up once or twice. And because they would call me mosquito bites, or, oh, well, you don't need a bra yet. I just never did. So I went without. And there was probably creepy men that were looking at my little things poking through my shirt because I didn't have training bras and stuff, because I didn't even want to ask them, because I was made fun of, and that's wrong. And I didn't practice safe, and I didn't, because I didn't know, and that's wrong. So like, what's your relationship like with sex? When I got to be an adult, I didn't want that with people. I had to be convinced by other people to do that, just because I was like, I don't get it. Now I get it, and now I know it's one of the most beautiful things that this life has to offer. Like, that level of connection with another human being, when it's just pure, when it's just so pure. Like that, but I was robbed of that. And you were probably robbed of that too. But that was my last point on today's list. Stick around, because guys, I have so much more. But yeah, I'm not going to ruin this by like getting too emotional at the end, but thank you so much for the love on my videos, and I will bring you guys all the information. The only reason I'm sharing this is because I want you guys to feel like me too. Not that I'm ever, ever, ever happy that those things happen, but if they've already happened and you're here now. And so I want to give you these things that have been light bulb moments for me, like, oh, that's not normal? What do you mean? It's all I've ever known. But it's not normal. Bring it in. One more hug. But it does get better, and I'm going to show you how. See ya. This is editing Twyla, and my heart is pounding, but I just wanted to show you some pictures of me when I was younger. I have a lot of these. Let me know if you want more. I have Halloween ones. I have 4th of July ones. And I've showed my family these, and I was sorting these pictures in front of them, and you could tell it made everyone uncomfortable, and they were saddened by it, but no one really said anything substantial. Like, I never really got validated despite, them seeing these pictures with their eyes, but there's no denying that this little girl was not normal and needed a lot of help. And I remember throwing fits every single outing. I was just not having a good time. And I never got the chance to stay home. I never got the chance to have sensory supports and headphones and, just any accommodations whatsoever. And I think that that's where a lot of my trauma comes from, because I don't cry when I think about my dad or my mom or not having siblings or even my divorces, horrible, horrible things. I don't cry. I feel like I have healed, but I get choked up every single time I think about this stuff. And so that's why I'm making my channel. Little Twyla needed it. And I thought this channel was going to be for kids, but I think it still is, but I think they're inside of all of you. This is Twyla's couch. Thanks so much for watching. This has been incredible already, and it's just begun.